Tonight we explore a disappearance that still refuses to be explained. A woman leaves her home one ordinary morning and is never seen again. The most haunting part of this case is not what we know, but what we almost know. A single piece of surveillance footage, a figure caught on camera, and a face that, by sheer chance, is never seen. Who was the last person to see her alive? Welcome to Bellows From Beyond. On the morning of January 24th, 2006, Jennifer Kesse prepared for another routine day in Orlando, Florida. She was 24 years old, independent, organized, and close with her family. Jennifer had just returned from a vacation with her boyfriend and was settling back into her normal schedule. She spoke with her parents the night before and gave no indication that anything was wrong. She lived alone in a condominium complex that was still under construction. New units were being built, and workers from various companies moved in and out daily. That morning, Jennifer never showed up for work. At first, her employer assumed she was delayed, then concerned, then alarmed. By the end of the day, Jennifer's parents were driving to Orlando. When her family arrived at Jennifer's condo, something immediately felt off. Her car was gone. Her phone was off. Her purse, keys, and belongings were missing. There were no signs of a struggle inside the apartment. No broken furniture, no obvious disturbance. It was as if Jennifer had simply walked out and vanished. Police initially considered the possibility that she had left voluntarily, but those closest to her pushed back hard. Jennifer was known for being responsible and communicative. She would never disappear without telling someone. Within days, the case shifted from missing person to something far more serious. Several days later, Jennifer's car was found. It was parked at a nearby apartment complex, not far from her home, and appeared to have been deliberately placed there. Nothing inside the vehicle offered clear answers. No note, no clear evidence of where Jennifer had gone. But the location of the car mattered. It was close enough to suggest someone familiar with the area, someone who knew where to park it without drawing attention. And that's when investigators found the footage. Security cameras at the apartment complex had captured a person parking Jennifer's car. The footage was grainy. The figure appeared calm, unhurried. And then something chilling happened. As the person walked away from the car, their face should have been visible to the camera, but at the exact moment their head passed the frame, they were perfectly obscured by fence posts. Frame after frame, each step blocked. Not a single clear image. It became one of the most infamous surveillance clips in true crime history. To this day, no one knows who that person was. They remain, quite possibly, the last person to see Jennifer Kesse alive. Attention soon turned back to Jennifer's condo complex. Construction workers had access to the building. Some were known to loiter in the area. Jennifer had reportedly expressed discomfort before, mentioning being watched or approached. Language barriers and inconsistent records made it difficult to identify who had been present at the time. Many workers were never fully tracked or interviewed. No arrests were made. The case stalled. Years passed, but Jennifer's parents refused to let the case fade. Frustrated with the lack of progress, they took an unprecedented step, gaining access to the case files themselves. What they found disturbed them. Leads that were never followed. Evidence that sat untouched. Tips that went nowhere. They launched their own investigation, keeping Jennifer's story alive through media appearances and public pressure. But even with renewed attention, the central mystery remained untouched. Who was on that video, and what happened after the camera stopped recording? Nearly 2 decades later, Jennifer Kesse's disappearance remains unsolved. No confirmed sightings. No physical evidence that tells a clear story. No closure. Only questions. Was it someone she encountered that morning? Someone watching her routine? Someone who blended into the background until it was too late? Or was the truth lost in those missing frames of video, hidden forever behind a fence? Some cases haunt us, not because of what they show, but because of what they hide. Jennifer Kesse's story is a reminder that evil doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it passes quietly through a camera's blind spot, leaving nothing behind but silence. And as years pass with no answers, silence becomes its own kind of witness. Somewhere, someone knows what happened. And until the truth comes to light, the question remains: who was the last person to see her alive? If you find yourself staring into the unanswered, into the spaces between the frames, remember to like, subscribe, and join us again, where mystery, history, and darkness converge into the beyond.